Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your friend Bets. My name is Jared, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite characters in DC Comics, and I've been reading a lot of him. It's Green Arrow. Green Arrow is a fantastic character, and I really feel that Green Arrow deserves the James Gunn treatment. And what I mean by that is you take a character that most people don't know, right? Like, people didn't know Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket Raccoon. They didn't know who Peacemaker was until James Gunn came around and really shined a light on those characters. Like, even Crypto, who in comic books, like, everyone knows who Crypto is in comics, at least on the most part. But, like, a lot of normies were like, Superman has a dog. That's kind of silly, but it's kind of funny, kind of cool. And so when I think of Green Arrow, he's just a very, very rich character. And he does have some, what's the word that they use? Household name. He does have a little bit of household name to him due to his appearances in different cartoons like Justice League Unlimited and The Batman from 2004 and Batman Brave and the Bold and in Young Justice, and as well as Smallville and his own TV show who crossed over. He has his own verse, the Arrowverse, with the CW series. And so he has a lot of like household name, but kind of, sort of. Like, nobody who really, like, people who don't do comics don't really know who he is, right? If you read Green Arrow comics, you really understand the character. And if you don't read Green Arrow comics, you're kind of like, yeah, he's kind of like a Robin Hood type. He's on the Justice League. He's kind of like Batman with a bow and arrow. And partially that is true. That is true that he is a... But I remember back in like 2008, before that, 2007, nobody knew who Iron Man was. And then Robert Downey Jr. came along with, who's the director? The guy who played Happy. What's that guy's name? He did Chef. Whatever. The Star Wars guy. He did Mandalorian. Those guys came around. Jon Favreau. So they came around and like really made Iron Man a household name where normies didn't just think he was, oh, isn't Iron Man a robot? Like, that's what a lot of people thought. And Robert Downey Jr.'s charisma and the way he played that character really made Iron Man a household name. And I feel like it's time for Green Arrow to really have that. And I think James Gunn's leadership under DC, I don't know if him directing it, but I feel like Green Arrow needs... And the reason I brought up Iron Man is because I remember back in 2008, I've never been an Iron Man fan, but I remember back in 2008, I remember watching the movie and being like, he's pretty much playing Green Arrow. I don't know much about Iron Man, but that's kind of just who Green Arrow is. He's like rich billionaire who's a snarky butthole to everyone, except for like the people he really likes. And even then, he's kind of snarky and kind of a butthole to them too. And that's who Robert Downey Jr. played. He played Green Arrow. He didn't play Tony Stark, because this Tony Stark that I know from the comics was like the super smart, condescending alcoholic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's who I always thought he was. Where Green Arrow, he's always been this like lighthearted, had a sense of humor, but he also had this like deep pain inside of him from his traumatic events of his origin story. He used to be kind of this playboy billionaire who used to treat women, was a womanizer, and then he went through a traumatic event. He landed on the island and got stranded and had to learn how to fend for himself. And you can change rearrange that origin a little bit with, like, did he meet someone? Did he do it on his own, kind of thing? Same thing with Iron Man in the 2008 film. And I just was like, Tony Stark is essentially Green Arrow. And I feel like it would really work in James Gunn's DC universe, because we already have, like, the idea of the corporate heroes with the Justice Gang. And we could essentially have multi-billion-dollar Oliver Queen be his own superhero, but, like, and doing the whole, like, fighting for the little man, even though he's a fat cat that he doesn't like. And there could be that conflict and all that stuff. Which would also be a good opening to introducing characters like Merlin that lead back into the League of Shadows, which leads back to Ra's al Ghul, which then connects to Batman, which is a way to connect that universe. And it would very much work if, like, Queen Industries was a competitor to Wayne Industries, as well as LexCorp and all those types of Cord Industries. There's a lot of billionaires to play with, and Oliver's movie, the Green Arrow movie, essentially could open up that element of the DC universe where Green Arrow is going after all these fat cats types who are lobbying their way through politics. And on that note, like, Green Arrow is a very political character. He's basically a far left extremist who's a superhero or vigilante, whatever you want to call it. And that would really work, I think. And especially under James Gunn's Superman, there was a way to have a political message without being, like, relaying real world politics into the film, right? Like, it really worked with the Superman stopping a war, and what would that affect? And you could do that same kind of thing with Green Arrow, where he's working to have billionaires do the right thing by kind of sabotaging their stuff. So kind of espionage stuff. And I think it would really work. And just Green Arrow just has such a rich lore within itself. He has so many characters that you could add to. We could have, Black Canary. We could see, if they wanted to, they could do multiple versions of Speedy, whether it be Roy Harper, Mia, what's his sister's name? I forget his sister's name. Not one from the show, but from the comics. There's different versions of Red Arrow. There's Connor Hawke, who's also Green Arrow, different version of Green Arrow. And he just has, like, a big, like Batman, he has a big family. And I think it would really, really work. I mean, I don't know. I just think the James Gunn humor would really fit a Green Arrow movie. And because that's who he is, right? Like, James Gunn's humor is that, like, snarky, smart-ass, stick it to the man kind of humor. And that's who Green Arrow is. And it would just be a really fun movie. I can kind of just, like, I can kind of vision it in my head, but, like, the action could be really fast paced, like the scene with Mr. Terrific, like, or the hallway thing, like, in, a guy running into with a bow and arrow, taking out a ton of dudes with trick shots. And gadgets, silly gadgets on the arrows would make it really fun, like the boxing glove or like the tear gas one. Just all sorts of silly gadgets attached to his arrows. It would just be awesome to watch. And I've never been a guy for fan cast, so I don't really know who you could cast as Green Arrow. I know people say like Charlie Hunnam or just bring back what's his name, the guy who played Oliver in the TV show. It's like no, we need something new and fresh. And Charlie Hunnam's like 50 years old. You know, they need like a Nicholas Holt kind of guy, like a young enough guy. You know, like David Cornsweet, like just turned 30, young, handsome guy, blonde hair, goatee. He doesn't even need to have the goatee. He could even start out with it and then like maybe end the movie with him growing it out. That'd be cool, just for us Green Arrow nerds. But there's so much potential with a Green Arrow film, and I just would love to see it. And so those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.